All right. Hey, what's up, VS? Wookersz and Chaos here with you again. And I've gotten a lot of messages online from guildies asking about gear. What should I build? How should I build it? Free to play, pay to play, all those things. So we're going to just kind of, we don't really have too much of a game plan. We just want to kind of go organically and show you the different sets of gear and how you can build them. And Spicy in the guild, she was just asking me a little bit ago about hyper or gear for hypers, and we can go over that too. It's really easy to do with the dressing room, but let me kind of show you what I have first for gear. And Chaos, feel free to jump in anytime. And but this is just how I've got things laid out. I have my war gear. It's a set that I use for like defending when I'm sleeping. Um, this is my research gear, and then I have my monster hunt gear. Then my gear for merging packs. Um, full cav gear, full range gear, full infantry gear, and my gathering gear. Uh, and then I have my training speed boost gear, which I just changed that to this guy, and that to my champion lamp, and that's my training speed gear. But there's different ways to build gear. There's basically there's free to play, and then like there's free to play gear, but you're gonna have to spend money or do a lot of other things to get it. And then there's purely pay to play gear. So I want to jump over into Lord's mobile dressing room and really take the time and go over some of these gear sets. Now, let's go over um, first of all champ gear because it's the easiest, right? Um, we click on the dollar sign, and this is going to show you
Yeah, you better.
what.
Dollar
Yeah,
sign is right.
well, it's the easiest to go through, but it's the hardest and most expensive to get.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's pretty easy to look at. I mean, you're going to go to your infantry attack. It's going to show you all champ gear. It's going to show you all the jewels. Um, and then you can go to ranged attack, search out that, and then go to your cavalry attack. Whoops. And search that. So that's really easy. But I just wanted to show you that's available. I'm not really going to go over champ gear. If you want me to on another specific video, I can go over champ gear. But most people are not going to have full champ gear. You might have like one or two pieces or something like that. But we can go and start with the basics. Like everybody does construction, and this. Oh, I'm gonna take off the dollar sign here. This is the best. Hold on, construction not free to play. Okay. So this is the best construction gear that you can have in the game. That is, quotation marks free to play, and then other see
I'm
resource get.
surprised they don't have that. What is that main hand called now? It's the trident instead of the
That's the
terror
Terror
lash.
Lash.
But I guess they're showing you the best possible gear, are they, or what?
Yeah,
I've never used this gear much,
so
so
that's construction speed. So
yeah,
what's cool about this? What you can do is that's 10% construction speed. You can go to the next best one, which is the trident.
yeah. That's what I was surprised because you clicked on free to play, but they showed you the terror lash, which is actually two seeds per level to build, and as we know, seeds are not easy to get.
Well, true. It's kind of weird because it's free to play. The Terror Lash is free to play because you can build this thing to yellow spending no money. It's just going to take you a long, long time of farming, and you can
It
you
must,
can
yeah.
and if you want to, you can kind of explain why this is a free to play, but why it takes so long and how you would get it if you were to do that.
Well, I've spent many a dollars on Terrathorn packs before I got mine. So I'm surprised that they put it as the free to play piece. You can do it. Hell events give you terror boxes every once in a while. The I can't even think of the name of the building, but where you go in and you hit monster, that gives you a Terrathorn seeds out of that, and uh, you can also get them from like obviously we got monster hunting, but it's very very uncommon that you get a terror seed when hunting. You do get them if you join a monster bus, and the whole bus only hunts Terrathorns for the simple fact that it increases the drop rate, um, and you can get them that way. As an idea for the guild, we could start doing certain monsters. Like everybody only hunts one monster that whole day, just to increase everybody's drop rate. But it would take a lot of coordination and agreement on the guild. So
Yeah, and so that's why that is hard to build because yes, technically it is free to play, but the drops are so rare that you're either going to have to spend money on buying packs to make it or running monster buses and then you're going to have to buy energy to run them monster buses. So, yeah, it's free to play but it's not. So, the next best thing you could get is the Trident. And that's only a level 35 main hand, and the uh, the items to get that are a lot easier, aren't they?
they are, yeah, they're gathering items. You can get them off of resource tiles.
Exactly.
While we're on that main hand, for some of us that are say semi free to play, do spend money, but not the kind of money that the gear would take. You can buy the $20 big guy pack, and it comes with the sacred broadsword, and it actually is a 10% construction speed.
Yep.
So if you're only looking for something to give you good construction speed, you would spend 1/10 of what it would cost to get the Terror Thorn main hand to gold, and you've got the exact same stats on it.
Yep. Absolutely. Um. So I just kind of want to go through a few things just so people can see, and then we'll try to transition to a more free to play atmosphere. So that's the best for research or construction speed. And I want to show this for the people who want to spend money. Okay, um, and then well, I'm just going to go down the list. Research speed. There's your best for research speed. And if going along, you can pause the video and you can be like, "Oh, he's doing research speed. I want to get this down." Um, and if you want, message me in line, and I can pop this up real quick. I can screenshot it and send it to you in line if you want to. Um, and then we got if you're doing a hyper, you want food production. There's your best food production. If you're doing gold production, there's your best gold. And then see resource gathering speed. There you go. Stone production. Some of these pieces I don't even know what they are. Let's see.
Those are uh,
Worm
jade
seals.
worm. Yeah, jade worm.
Let's see. Timber production. Ore production. Experience boost. Oh, there's nothing. Okay.
I was gonna say I don't think there is.
Training speed. The hard rock skier.
And champion offhand.
Yeah. Well, this is I don't
Yeah.
have the dollar sign on, so
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
And then infantry attack, ranged attack. What's cool is, well, it's kind of cool but not cool. But infantry and range uses three cups.
Yeah. Well, they're second line to the champion.
Yeah,
They're they're actually I was surprised when they showed on when you're on the champion set and they showed up for the range set and not the champion accessories.
yeah.
They're actually 4%. They're 4% stronger than a Mystic champion offense or accessory.
I have my cups to purple, and to get it to gold takes 13 halos, 13 gold halos.
Yeah.
It's
Can
ridiculous.
you imagine three of those?
Oh my god. Um,
For those that don't know, Halo drops suck.
yes, I saw a guy today in our kingdom that has two gold cups.
Really?
Yep, he's one of the new war guilds that moved into our kingdom. So
I, I would know that.
here's the cav gear. Um, I really don't. I'm not going to go into any of these defense gears really, unless somebody wants me to. And if you want me to, hit me on online, and I will tell you. Travel speed,
In
energy
all
saver.
honesty, though, like, yeah, I'm sure you would agree with this. Your best defense is attack.
Yes, yes,
Eh,
always.
yeah, use an attack set that matches your front line and load as many re-ins as you can into your castle, and that's your best defense. There's
Absolutely.
no.
Go with attack always. No, this is another set that I highly recommend people make if they can. Is for your familiar training level XP boost. Um,
Yeah, that's
so
huge because it
there's
takes forever to get your familiar to level 60.
oh yeah, it would take just to the end of time. Well, there's this one, the XP boost, and your merging speed. So that
Yeah, the only difference is the fix.
they're basically almost the same thing. I believe they all come from voodoo shamans, right?
They are, except for the accessories. The accessories are 100% free to play.
Okay, awesome. The mystic boxes, yep.
Yeah.
And then I don't think there's really anything else I really need to go over, um, unless somebody wants me to. But these are I'm just going through all the different things in case.
Where do you download? If anybody is interested in downloading this, because I don't personally use this dressing room. Where do you get it from?
So this you get on the Google Play Store. Just search. And I actually did a video on Lord's Mobile Dressing Room already. So if you want to watch that one, you can. But go on the Google Play Store. Let's look up Lord's Mobile Dressing Room, and the free version of this sucks because it blocks out all your accessories. But it's 99 cents for a year to unlock it, and it's uh, everything. So
Oh, nice.
if you find it as a good resource and you want to spend 99 cents, I think it'd be a good investment if you plan to play this game for a while. So now we can kind of
Another way, like myself. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no,
What?
go ahead, absolutely.
Okay, for myself, because I don't use the dressing room. I'm kind of old school. They didn't have dressing room when I first started choosing my gear. What I do is I go into workshop. I collect. I click all equipment, and then let's say, for instance, I want to figure out my main hand. So I click on main hand, and then I go down to where it says filter. And if I want to work on my cavalry set, I'll go for cavalry attack, and then that tells me everything. And usually the very top item is your better items, and then it goes down from there because it goes all up to player level. And usually anything with level 60 is your top notch stuff, and anything below that is the best. So obviously, unless you're rich, like most of us aren't, uh, you start off with your horn crudgel, which is a gargantuan piece, or the nectar orb, and those would be your top attack for your cavalry. Um, so that's how I do it. I just say, okay, well, I need to increase my main hand on my cavalry. I'm not happy with that. So then I click here, and you can, once you're set up on cavalry attack, you can click helmet, you can click chest, you can click offhand, and it still sticks with that cavalry. So you can go through that whole set and pick your uh, whatever you want to build. Uh, you know, and kind of see what's within your realm. Because if you go all equipment, it tells you everything. It's free to play, pay to play, everything all in one category, and you just kind of be like, "Oh, I'd like that," and then you click on it to see what it takes to merge it. That's how I do it because I was before the mobile dressing room came out when I started playing this game. So
Yeah, and that's how I did it too when I first started playing. And then some, like when I first started playing, I was confused by this event equipment, and it's weird though because it's not really events. They're, it should say monster sets
it
because
should.
that way you can go to any monster. I'm excluding champion sets because that's pay to play. But any monster you're looking for, like if you're looking, like he was talking about the horn cudgel, you could go through every one of these and be like, okay, that's not horn cudgel, that's not. Is it Mecha Trojan? No, and you can keep going. And I believe that one's what, Saberfang,
No, that one's guard. Gargantua.
Gargantua. So if you want to build the horn cudgel, you have to kill Gargantuas. And that's all this page is. What monster is tied to which piece of weapon or armor. So in the
You can do the same thing from your all equipment. If you stick with that horn cudgel, for instance,
yeah,
you click on forge, and then when it tells you you need X amount of eyes, you click on the eye, and then or not on the eye, you just push source, and it tells you exactly what you need. Sorry, if you go out of here and then you just click on the source at the bottom right, it tells you exactly where it comes from.
oh, that's cool. I've actually never done that before.
It saves a little bit of hunting through. So
Well, that's good to know. So that way people, I mean, play around with all these and get familiar. So if we want to get people on a that want to start making weapons and armor on a completely free to play basis, say like I want the best weapons and gear that I can have that are free to play in all these different categories, and I don't want to spend money, how would you differentiate between what is pay to play, like where you're going to have to either buy energy or buy packs from the store, and a completely free to play set? How would you tell the difference?
well, I kind of know a few of them because I've looked into it for different traps that I've tried to build without spending money. So let's go back to main hand and click on the fiery tomahawk, for instance. If you are familiar with the items that usually drop from gathering, as you can see, every item that is required to build the fiery tomahawk you get from gathering.
Yep.
And it actually has decent stats for being Mystic, mind you. It has pretty decent stats for that. And you can get two blue embers fairly easy. A lot of times I think it's a green ember or something like that from playing soccer. If you get solo stage 3 from KVK, there's usually an ember in there, green or better. I'm not sure. I don't really pay attention because I just buy ember packs. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
rely on getting any. I unfortunately I don't rely on getting anything from this game for free. I pay to play. So I don't really pay attention too much to certain. The only ones that I pay attention to for free rewards are red orbs because I've spent so much money on this game already. I don't want to keep spending to upgrade familiars.
Yeah.
but Needless to say, I'm still buying the orb packs. But yeah, so I think you could get that piece very easily Mystic. Um, Now on your helmet, I would say I'm just scrolling the list. Bloodstain helm, you can completely get paid 100% free. As you can see, it's a gargantuan piece, but there's no eyeballs, so it doesn't require those rare drops. The eyeballs are what they consider rare drop. These other ones like the gargantua locks and the iron bolts, those are all easily accessible through um, hunting. You will get these items through gifts from guild boxes and from hunting. You don't have to spend money to get these items.
So
Um,
w-
I'm just Go ahead.
what I did the other night because I was just messing around and wasting time. One thing you can do is go to your workshop and go to your cabinet, and you can go to material fusion, right?
Yes.
And it's got all your
I've, um,
materials, and you can see as you scroll through all your materials what you have a lot of and what you have a little of. So just to get you guys familiar with stuff, what is rare and what's not. So like, blazing embers are rare. Um and if you go down here, your stuffed dolls are rare. Um your glistening pearls are
stuffed
rare.
dolls actually stuffed dolls have a pretty good drop rate though. I have to admit, I have gotten a few stuffed dolls just from hunting. Comparatively to other monsters where I can hunt 30 level twos in a row would not get one rare drop of, say, hard rocks. If
Yeah,
you hunt 30 level twos in a row, you might actually get a stuffed doll. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
they
Same
they
with
drop more often.
frostwing. Frostwings are not bad for drop rate either.
Now, yeah, I do agree that the stuffed dolls they do drop more frequently. Uh, um, the you said the what the oh
The
yeah
frostwing.
yeah
Frostwings are actually somewhat, I believe, to say free to play. I have more Frostwing hearts than I know what to do with, and I stopped even opening my Frostwing boxes because
oh
I have
wow.
no.
Well,
Frostwing gear is not that great. The only thing that I personally would ever build, it would be the great sword.
yes,
Um,
yes.
the Frostwing breasts are not too great, but they do give you gold production rate. But unless you've already got a Mystic Frostwing sword, I would not even look at Frostwing breast.
And then going down the list, like your glistening pearls are kind of hard to get. Glowing halos are hard to get. Your queen venoms are hard to get. Let's see what else. Your ancient blueprints are hard to get.
They're not bad actually, believe it or not. I think
They're better than
ancient
most.
blueprints. They do have a pretty decent drop rate. Uh, for some reason, I've got more than I know what to do with now. I have a mystic chess piece, and I stopped buying specific mecha Trojan packs, and I still got like 5 gold blueprints for some reason. This is ridiculous. As soon as you don't need them, they just start giving them to you. You're like you've got a mystic eternal codex, and you got a gold skull. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he doesn't need this anymore. Let's give him more skulls. uh, I just seen festive bells go by there. I just brought up a point to me. In my opinion, the only piece worth building out of the snow beast set would be the winter mitt. Everything else is kind of really low on stats. See, the originals, like when Lords Mobile was mostly free to play, and there was very few pay to play players. There was only a few monsters. There was a quarter of the amount of monsters that there are now. There was like Gargantua, there was Snow Beast, there was Jade Worm, and there's one other. It's just slipping my mind right now. Uh, I think there's only like 4 or 6 monsters when this game first came out. So those sets, if you actually look at them, they're way underpowered comparatively to what other sets are now. Like the Bon Appy, for instance, she that's a new monster, super overpowered. It beats champion gear. Um, I think Lords Mobile just keeps stepping it up, so it gives the pay to play people something new to spend money on, so
Yep.
that they keep cash flow coming. Obviously, right? So
Yep.
the older stuff, like say Frostwing, for instance, they've increased the drop rate, I think, on it to make it easier for pay to play or free to play players to get some of these pay to play equipment. So I would focus on the older stuff and make it easier on yourself for
So
building
so
equipment.
how about we, since we kind of identified the difference between a more free to play pay to play and a pure free to play, do you think with the information we have, we could go onto Lord's mobile dressing room and make some sets of armor that the players in the guild could start working towards that are purely free to play?
Yeah, because I got my game open on my tablet, so I can be on this video and on my game at the same time, so I can cross reference back and forth. I
Okay.
noticed that it's only a half an hour till pack reset, so I just got to quickly buy a couple packs before they disappear that I meant to grab earlier, but I was busy with work.
So let's go through some popular things that free to play players are going to have. And construction speed is one of them. Now,
Yeah,
all this on here is not purely free to play. So
no, not at
we already talked about the Terror Lash. What would be your next best thing for a truly free to play player?
I would go try it. And,
Tried it? Okay. So,
yeah, if you're not willing to spend the $20 to get the broadsword from the big guy packs, you're trident all the way.
okay. Now, what else on here would you change?
I would change Griffin boots to I think they're called Seeper cleats.
Yep.
I don't think there's anything better than that. Um, Obviously, Nostros gear. The helmet I think is 100%. Let me just see uh, what the helmet takes. I think it is 100% free to play. Yes, it takes no lightning vials. Lightning vials on the Nostros are the rare drop, and to forge the mask is only crackling hide, broken horn, and then a regular horn. So I know those aren't proper names, but that's what the picture looks like. So that one is free to play. You could build that free to play. The Griffin Talon you could do free to play from purely hunting items, but the chest piece is not. That takes one vial to each level, so you'd have to have a gold vial eventually to get gold. I'm just trying to think. See if I have anything in my chest here. Let's see.
The me-
What is?
the next best one says is the Odysseus.
I bet you it would be. Yep. Yeah, you betcha. 7%. That'd be the one. Oh, that's Mystic, mind you, 7%. But yeah, no, that's it. After that, it is.
Now, the Sentinel Circlet, those are free to play already, aren't they?
Those are 100% free to play. Yeah, you
So,
betcha. Those are huge. Those are like 25%. They're massive.
so this right here would be a complete free to play set for construction gear.
Yep,
Awesome.
100%. You could get that all from hunting and from gathering only. Not you don't need a dime on the game.
So after we do these sets, that'd be a great time for you to pause the video and take note of this is the true free to play gear for construction speed, and the next we'll go resource gathering speed, and then research speed, and then we'll do some attack gear. And every time we're say that was the free to play complete set, that's when you pause the video, and that's the stuff you need to work towards if you're completely free to play. Sound good? All right.
That was great to me.
So let's go to research speed next, because that's a big one. Now,
Yeah, this game is a game of research. Definitely, if you fall behind on the research, you're gonna fall behind in your strength because you should focus on obviously monster hunting for your drops, and then secondly, anything to do with military.
yep. Now I see some already pay to play gear on here, so let's go ahead and go through this. Now, I know this Wormborn Coronet, that's going to be pay to play.
Yeah, 100%.
So Beast Helm is also going to be pay to play.
Yeah, Beast Helm is, but Beast Helm isn't research.
No, it isn't. Look at that.
No, the only
Wonder
the
why it
only
has it
helmet
on
that's
here.
research, the only research is Wormbone. I'm in my workshop right now, and the only one that comes up
Yeah, that's the only piece.
for helmet is Wormbone. Period. There's
So
no other.
So we will leave Wormbone in there because that's the only piece of research gear for your head.
It is, and it is. Jade Worm drops are not very great. I'm sure, as most of you guys know, you're probably stuck at a purple one right now, and it's taking forever to get to gold.
But even
So
at a if you go to Wormborn Cornet, now everything we're showing here is in yellow. So even at a crappy one, you're still getting 1.5% research speed boost. So you,
exactly.
when you can craft it, and keep killing jade worms, and hopefully, because as soon as you go up to green, it's 2.5, then it goes to 4%, and then 6%, and then 10%. So it may take some time, but as long as you can craft something, you'll get some bonus from it.
And honestly, I don't think there's much other Jade Worm stuff that's worth forging until you do have the gold coronet.
Yeah.
So
So
now, unfortunately, main hand is the same story. Electric Lance is your only option for
yes,
research speed,
yep, because
and
the
it's
next one,
pay to play
yep,
because you need lightning vials to make it.
yep,
So
and then your
off
body armor, terror
that
shield,
is is Calvary Mail all the
Calvary
way.
mail, yep,
That is the best one that you can get.
for free to play.
Yeah, for free to play.
Griffin Walkers,
Griffin Walkers are once again very hard to make because they take 3 Griffin orbs per
yep,
level. And I'm sure, like even my trap, I've spent a little bit on it, and it has a hard time getting past the blue or purple stage. I'm not sure. Um, Mind you, I didn't really focus on Griffin gear too much because I only focused on war, being that it was a trap.
but those are the only boots for research speed.
They are the only thing that you can make. You betcha. Vice grips are a great piece for your offhand. They are 100% free to play.
Awesome.
They are only gathering.
And
And
then
your off and your accessories of a lunar flute.
lunar flutes.
I'm sure everybody by now knows to fill lunar flutes.
Yes, and those
That's
are
like the
100%
first
free to
thing.
play as well,
They are, yep,
and you get them from gathering.
yep. And as everybody knows, it takes a lot of gathering because coal and platinum do not like to come to you.
So here again, we this is your complete set of free to play gear. with the exception of your Griffin Walkers, your Wormborn Coronet, and your Electric Lance.
Yeah, those are pay to play, unfortunately.
So these aren't out of the realm of possibility, but you're just gonna have to farm a lot of monsters to be able to build them, like a lot of monsters. But they're not
Yeah,
unobtainable.
you could probably get the Lance being free to play if you don't decide to build the construction piece from the Nosferatu and go for the research piece. Because you do get once in a while free vials, but it'll take some time. But this game is not a sprint, as we all know. It's a marathon.
Yep,
So
absolutely. So resource gathering speed, that's another good one because a lot of free to play players are going to have to do a lot of resource gathering. So um,
there's only one piece that's free to play.
yep. So
Once again, it's the Nosferatu helmet.
you have to go with Electric Lance again. There's no other one for that. And
No,
then Nosros, that's free to play. Um, Lightning Guard, I can't remember. Is that free to play?
no, it takes a lightning vial to make it.
Okay, so
So
and
it's
then
semi free to play because you do get once in a while lightning vials, but I would honestly put my lightning vials into the electric lance to increase my
research speed.
research speed
Yeah.
over resource gathering
Yep.
because
I
it's
would
way
too.
easier to gather resources.
And you bring up a good point too. When a lot of free to player players are looking at this, there's things that take precedent over other things. Just like Chaos was saying, instead of using your lightning vials to make the lightning guard Nosros armor for resource gathering, your resources in lightning vials are going to be better be spent in making the electric lance for the research speed because your research speed is going to be way more important than your gathering speed.
Absolutely.
So this would be your complete set for resource gathering speed. Now for people that want to attack other people, it's so if you don't have outstanding attack stats, that doesn't mean you can't go out and kill people. You just have to find smaller targets. Um, you know, and that's fine too because it's still fun. I mean, when I first started burning people and Falcon would take me out, like I didn't have great gear at all, but it was still really fun just burning people. So
And you can actually beat guys with higher stats than you once you learn how to read troop comms
yes,
and counter their troop composition. You can take guys out just by countering them. So like there's guys that have 80 or 90 million might traps that are taking a 375k solo hit from full orange champion guys and capping their leader.
yes.
And their gear is in no comparison near the same realm as that, but yet they're capping their leaders. So gear can beat other gear. You just have to have the proper comp.
So
So
I would suggest, unless you suggest something differently, would you just want to focus on like a full infantry, a full cav, and a full range set for right now, and then we can do a separate video for like a trap setup?
I don't know if you can with free to play. To be honest with you, there's only so many pieces. I what I know of, for instance, your accessories. There's I just got to switch my filter because I'm still sitting in research speed filter. So in accessories, as far as 100% free to play, you can build this by doing nothing more than just monster hunting or um, gathering. You got mystic boxes. Now, mystic boxes are not specifically war gear, but they do come with a 6% infantry attack.
Yes.
Uh,
And I actually used these for a long time.
yeah, no, they're good. They're As far as I'm concerned, I would build a Lost Island relic because it does have a better stat. It's got matching infantry attack of 6% with a 6% ranged attack, and it also gives you army hit points of 2.5%. Now that is pretty big because, as we all know, attack first, hit point second. So you're getting kind of two good pieces there for the simple fact of just some vines, some minerals, and some platinum. So 100% items that you can get off of resource piles. The other piece that I would probably build would be the ivory choker. Now, it's not a gathering piece, but it is 100% free to play. You get all these items from attacking a saber fang with no rare required materials, and it will give you a cavalry attack of 8%. So that's not too bad for free to play gear. You could use the Sentinel Circlet. It has a cavalry attack of 4%, um, but when you could build a choker instead with hunting pieces, I would probably go that route myself. I have seen traps use lunar flutes and load them with attack jewels just because it gives you some army hit points. I'm just trying to see what else is on the list. Really not much else. Once you go below gear level 40, the stats really start to go south. Um, Now, as far as boots, just give me a quick second to review the list. Um, you could build corrupted boots. They're Trojan piece. They are 100% free to play because they don't require a rare drop item, which is a blueprint. They give you an infantry attack of 10% and a siege attack of 15 and some infantry defense. Well, I guess you got the stats in front of you. I don't have to read them. Honeycomb chaps are a hunting piece at 100% free to play. They are obviously from Queen Bee, but they don't require the bee venom to build it. So I would go with those because they give you ranged and cavalry. So you see between the corrupted boots and the honeycomb chaps, there's your three troops right there.
Cool, cool,
So
awesome. So you're
you
giving
don't need.
people two different options for boots, the honeycomb chaps and the uh, what were they called?
Corrupted boots.
Corrupted boots. Okay, there you go. Honeycomb chaps or the corrupted boots are kind of your two options for purely free to play, and you can choose what's going to work best for you.
Yeah, there are different ones, but those ones I feel have the best stats.
Okay, because that's what I kind of want to do. If we're not going to make three sets for people, I want to at least give them an option, saying if you're going to make some gear for attacking, this is what you can work towards.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Those I've seen lots of people use those and they're quite happy with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because 10% is pretty good. You know, like yeah, you can get some that are higher, but you got to spend money, and unfortunately, that's just not a possibility for everybody. So I'm looking at armor right now for chest pieces. Frostwing actually was. I just noticed it. It actually has surprisingly decent stats.
The Frostwing
It
armor.
Yeah, it's got 8% infantry, 8% ranged. Now that's not bad. Um, I think this here is yeah, it's okay to play. Um, I've seen a lot of people use this grimy plate. Now that I think is that's 100% free to play. It's mega maggot, and it's decent stats on it. Um, that's 100% free to play. Does not require any rare drops to make it. Um, any like once you're in the workshop and you're kind of scrolling through the little things, just remember that anything, honestly, anything below level 40, the stats on it are not worth your time to build it. Take the save your items up and build something better. Um,
Absolutely.
Surprisingly enough, I thought it kind of sucked, but the Winter Park is not bad for 100% free. Oh no, wait, Winter Park is pay to play because it costs fear drums. Or not fear drums, festival bells. But other than that, everything else, unfortunately, is going to be pay to play for chess pieces. So Frostwing is it takes a heart to use. Oh, that's why it has decent stats. It takes a Frostwing heart to make it. So you have the option of Regal Plate Mail is not bad. It doesn't have anything besides siege attack, but it gives the army hit points at 5%, which isn't too bad. So Grimy Plate is infantry, 100% free to play. And after that, you're really out of luck. I hate to say it. So you're looking at the next. That's about all you could do is I guess the Grammy plate. I know the Mega helmet isn't bad either, and I believe it's 100% free to play. Let's see. Frostwing helm is free to play. No, no, Shadow helm is pay to play. It's you take the the rare drop. So the Berserker Tusk helm has infantry attack. And it has 100% gathering items to build it. There is one more. Oh yes, the Bloodstained Helm. The Bloodstained Helm is a gargantuan piece, and it only takes hunting items. It doesn't take any rare drops. Um, as does the Indulgent Visage, which is a Bon Appy piece, so it gives you infantry and range. So right there is are the two helmets that I would focus on myself would be the Indulgent Visage and the Bloodstained Helm. 100% free to play. You can get them solely from hunting, and one is cavalry, the other one is infantry and ranged, and they're decent stats. The cavalry stats of 8% and infantry range of 10% on the other one. So you could with some jewels you could stack that up. They're not bad.
So you're
Um,
saying the indulgent visage, or actually indulgent visage, because visage means face. Um,
yes,
those are your options. Your indulgent visage is going to give you infantry and ranged, and then your other one is what now?
the bloodstained helm
The bloodstained helm. Let me find that one again.
right
There you go.
above
There you go.
above
Bloodstained
the.
helm. That's going to
There
give
you
you
are.
cavalry. So those are your two options for free to play
Yeah, those are the ones with the best
with the
stats.
best stats.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to get the highest attack you can. So, um,
So for now
unfortunately,
we just have main hand and offhand to do.
and I'm looking at your offhands right now. From past experience, because I've built this myself, the Crusader Shield is very good. Some guys actually use vice grips just because they have once again army hit points, right? And this is surprisingly high at gold at 13%. So that's not too bad. Um, the Worm Lantern is obviously Jade Worm, 100% hunting, free to play, and it's not bad. It has a pretty good ranged attack and some ranged hit points to it. Um,
I've seen a lot.
Terror Blade.
I've seen a
Go
lot of
ahead.
people using the winter mitts.
Yes, but Winter Mitts takes festive bells.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha.
So unless you want to start spending money, you'll probably take 4 years to get them gold. Because I think it takes four of them. Let me just take a quick look here. Because I actually took a while. I've got mine to Mystic, and it took a while to save them up to get it to Mystic. Yeah, it takes four Festa bells per level. So as you know, it would take one gold one to make a purple, one purple to make a blue. So you do need a fair bit um, of them. So to get four gold Festa bells, by the time you got there free to play, it would take a while.
So for free to play, we're looking at for offhand the Crusader Shield, which is 100% free to play, gives you
Yes.
so infantry and ranged attack, and then the other one was the uh, where was it? Worm Lantern,
Uh, yes, the Worm Lantern.
which gives you
Um,
ranged attack, and
it
then
does. Yeah.
you had a third one.
Yes, I just got out of that screen right now. Just give me a half a second. I did mention that I had to grab some packs, but I got busy talking, so I just noticed that resets within the next minute or two. So I just have to
Yeah.
quickly grab them before they disappear. Um, Never mind. Actually, I'm gonna fail epically on this one. I'm on the wrong. I'm on my device, and I have the IGG Diamond store on my device, so I'd have to PayPal some money onto my Diamond account to be able to do it. So um, I'll just see if I can't. Does that still run or no?
What's that?
Oh, I wasn't sure if I shuttled out of this and went onto my Google account
No,
from my phone. If I was.
I had to go finish some research because I was working on the challenge event for today, and I was like,
Oh, were you?
so I just had to go and complete a research to make sure I completed it.
Did you manage to make it? Because I
Yeah, I
missed my.
did
I missed
with
my.
seconds left.
I missed my tomb pack in the mall. I'm kind of sad now.
Oh, it'll come around
I
again.
I could, yeah, I know, but I I hate missing that.
I know.
Oh well, life's rough. Um, saved
Third
me
world
20 bucks
problems,
just now.
or
There was four packs that I was gonna buy that I didn't buy, so it just saved me 20 bucks. What do you know?
yeah, first world problems.
I know, right? Okay, so now that I'll just stay on my Google device now because I'm on this screen. So for the offhand, I'm just gonna go back in because I was already here. So for free to play offhand, we have Vice Grips, which is only army hit points. Sometimes that's what guys look for. I personally prefer to have attack stats. But so we got the Worm Lantern, the Terror Blade, Lunar Scepter, and Champion or not Champion, with Crusader something. I'm trying to see. It's the shield looking thing. I don't see it on that list. Maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. Crusader Shield. So Crusader Shield, infantry and range. The stats aren't that great. Like for instance, it's got ranged of 6.5, whereas the Worm Lantern has 10%. So you'd be much better off building that if you're going for range. Terror Blade for your infantry stats.
Terror Blade. Let me find that guy. I probably already
It's
passed it.
it's
Yep.
a oh, just left my brain. It's obviously Terror Thorn, but 100% free to play because it doesn't require rare drops.
There you go.
Um, I'm just trying to see which one's Calvary now. I don't see it.
Well, at least
I know.
those are three options. that we can give free to play players to start building for offhand, and
Yes.
and you know it gives them a place to start, and those are three good options for your free to play, and we've given you a couple options for boots, a couple options for your offhand. We've given you a couple options for your trinkets, and and let's go to, because I know we're running kind of long on the video. Let's go
Yeah, much
to
more than we're going to be.
yeah. Let's go to
Just
main hand.
yeah, fiery tomahawk and the Falcon Gale are kind of the two top ones for free to play.
Okay, so fiery
Now,
tomahawk gives us cavalry attack, infantry attack, and ranged attack.
yeah, so it's kind of the free to play frostwing sword, so to speak. So it
Okay.
covers all your troops, right?
Yep.
Um, Falcon Gale is a great piece, but it only covers the cavalries. Oh no, it has some ranged in there. Sorry, I stand corrected. It has 5% range attack
Yep.
and 10%. Um, Venom Stinger is infantry and ranged only, and the one that I would suggest for a hunting piece is the Dragon's Bite. It's 100% free to play, only Blackwing required, no special drops, and it's 10% infantry attack with a 10% army max hit point. So
Which one?
that's a
Which one is
pretty.
that?
It's called Dragon's Bite.
Yeah, let
Kind of
me.
looks like a crossbow with uh, purple jewel on the front of it.
Dragons bite. Oh, there you are. Dragons bite. Okay.
Yes, it 100% hunting piece. No rare drops required, and some decent stats on it.
Cool. That's good information. So here's a kind of, as we've gone through all these pieces, and you've heard Chaos say which pieces to build. And he's given you a few options for almost every category. I know there was like two or three offhands, there were two or three main hands, there were two or three boots, and the trinkets. You can, start building these free to play pieces of armor if you want to go out burning. And then once you start building them, and let's say you build, three mystic boxes, and you build three Lost Island relics, or maybe even just two of them, and then you built two ivory chokers. Start playing them with them and mixing, matching them, and see what's maximizes each stat in each category. So that way, when you go out burning, you know that if you're going to attack infantry, then I want, like, let's just look at infantry and trinkets. This one gives 6% infantry attack. This one gives 6%. And this one gives nothing. So you know if you're going to attack infantry, you either want three mystic cubes or three Lost Island relics. And
Hmm.
if you're attacking cavalry, you'd want three ivory chokers.
Absolutely.
And
Um,
if you're attacking all ranged, you'd want three Lost Island relics. And that's
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
but
One
this
thing,
go ahead.
maybe we should quickly before we wrap this up, if you could go into your back into your game
Okay.
and just go into your player profile, we
Okay.
could just quickly show them how they can check their stats. So, for instance, if we click on that magnifying glass to the white page, it and you scroll down, it tells you exactly what your stats are. Once you go down to it goes green right there. See your infantry attack, range attack, cavalry attack, all three right on the top. So as you change out different pieces of armor of equipment, those stats are going to change accordingly. So you could try different combinations and check these stats and see what gives you the highest one of each one, and then you kind of just make a mental note of it and say, okay, so this set gives me my best infantry attack. And if you don't have quick stop or quick swap, sorry, research, you could just remember, okay, I've got to switch to this, and then that's my infantry set. Obviously, having quick swap research would be best, but that's a pretty big undertaking in the research tree
It
for
is.
some of us. I don't, so
And then also with all this talk that we've done on gear and then checking your percentages. Now we've already done a video on talents. So your talents are going to change these percentages too, because in the last video we did with when we did talents, you're going to have talents for war talents, and you're going to have talents for your research and your gathering and your construction. So if you do go out burning and you start building these pieces of gear, and you kind of figure out what gear you're using for infantry, what gear you're using for cavalry and ranged, when you go out burning, make sure you switch to your war talents to maximize those percentages. And then when you go back to building and constructing and researching, switch back into your research talents. So that way you can
absolutely,
maximize whatever you're doing.
yeah, it does get like don't get me wrong, it does get expensive switching talents for 1,000 gems every time. But you think about it this way: if you save yourself 10,000 troops, you've saved more than 1,000 gems to rebuild those troops. So it's well worth swap because you'll spend more than 1,000 gems to retrain 1,000 troops. If you are not in talents, your reds will be much higher, and you will end up probably spending more gems in the long run to retrain troops than you would have if you just swap talent.
Absolutely. That's 100% correct. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video because I don't want to run too long, but let us know, in guild chat or online, like what you guys want to see. I mean, I have ideas for future videos. Um, like I want to do a video on all the free gems that you can possibly get from this game and how to get them. I want to do a video on uh, gems for your gear, what you're going to need, what are the best gems to use for your gear, and what sets. It'll be kind of like an add-on to this video. I mean, and I only have so many ideas, and Chaos has only so many ideas, but I also want to hear from our guild, like what do you guys want to see that we can help you with? Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Chaos has been playing this game longer than I have, so he knows a lot of this older stuff. That's why it was so helpful for him to look up these things, because he's more familiar with it than I am, and then I have the Lord's Mobile, so we can kind of work together. But let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll do our best to make sure that we do a video on it and make you more knowledgeable, make the entire guild better. So, if there's anything that you kind of want to say in closing, and then we'll wrap up this video.
Nope. Till next time, P.
All right, sounds good, man. Well, thanks for taking the time and doing this again, and using your knowledge of the game to help everybody. We all really appreciate that.
Anytime.
All right, till next time.